Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Samra and today we're going to be talking about May TBR. So April's gone just like that. It just flew by this month. I can't believe it's already time to record the May TBR. I was actually a bit shocked that I have to do it this week, but here we go. The first one I have is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by Schwab. This one is a standalone fantasy, came out in 2020. Everyone already knows this book. I heard very good stuff about it, as we all have. This is originally 444 pages, although my version is a bit thicker. I think it's the printing paper, I don't know. It's a bit over 600 pages here. So this has a rating of 4.21, I think. Yeah, 4.21 in Goodreads, so that's pretty high. I've been wanting to read this book since it came out because the Faust, the story begins in 1714 France, and it's about a young woman who in a desperate moment decides to make a bargain to live forever. But as a result, she's cursed, and now everyone she meets forgets her. That's really all I read about the book because I didn't want to know too much, but I know that the story goes on over centuries. So yeah, that's really all I know about this book. I'm really excited to read it. I'm really happy I finally have a physical copy to get through this book because it's a bigger book and I'm really more comfortable when I have the physical copy in my hand actually reading the book. And it's also good because it's a standalone. There's not many not good, maybe I don't know them. I mean, there's not many standalones in fantasy genre these days. Everything's a trilogy, a duology, and you have to, dedicate yourself and your time to read them. But this is a standalone, and I'm really happy to be reading it this month. The next book I have in the fantasy genre is a book I didn't finish in April, so I have to push it to May. It's The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, the second book in Mistborn Trilogy Era 1. For the record, I have started it. I'm a little bit into the story. I'm already reading it. I'm currently reading that book. But I don't know. There's only a few days left in April, so I don't know if I can finish a 600-page book by the end of the month. I'll be trying, because that's the only thing I'm reading right now. I'll be trying to finish it. If I finish The Well of Ascension by the end of April, I put it in my wrap-up and I go read the third book, which is The Hero of Ages. I might do that, but I don't know, guys. 600 pages and I have work. I don't know if I can make it in just a few days. So we'll see. I'll try. I'm really enjoying it. I picked it up last night and I read about 50-60 pages into it. It was very interesting. It kind of excited me to read more, so I have the will to read it, but I don't know if I will finish it. So we have Well of Ascension and Hero of Ages. The next book on the list is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is a cozy fantasy published in 2020. You already can tell I'm very excited to read this book. It's fairly short, only about 300 pages. It has a rating of 4.29 on Goodreads. And, well, what do we need to know? Our main character is Viv. She's a battle-weary orc who's done with bloodshed and bounties, and she's tired with battle, technically, and she wants to go start a new life. So she goes and opens up a coffee shop in a town, in the city of Thun, I think. Isn't that an amazing description? I mean, I'm already sold. This book came out, I read the synopsis, and I was like, I need this book in my life. I really want to read it. And then everyone started reading it, and they all gave 5 stars, actually. Everyone I know who read this book gave it 5 stars, so it has to be good. I'm pretty sure I will like it. And the story goes on. I think the rivals show up, the rivals from the past, the new rivals, and things get complicated, and people don't know what coffee is. Yeah. Oh, and also there's a second book coming out at the end of this year, I think, about bookshops, Bone and Dustbone and Bookshops. I don't remember the name. Yeah, I'll probably put it here. Yeah, so that one's coming out too. So it's kind of the perfect timing for me to start reading this book. So so I can read the next one when it comes out. Now on to the next genre, romance. I chose this book, Beach Read by Emily Henry. This was published in 2020. It's also very famous, everyone knows it. It's 358 pages. It has a rating of 4.03 in Goodreads. I usually don't go into romance books with high expectations, but this one I'm going in with high expectations because I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry and it was surprisingly good. I didn't expect that. She writes differently. I don't know. She's not like the other romance writers. I loved Book Lovers and I really hope I would like Beach Read too. So this book is about a romance writer. The girl is a romance writer who doesn't believe in love anymore. And the guy is a literary fiction writer who's stuck in a rut, technically. These two are the polar opposites. I mean, the girl, the romance writer, writes happily ever afters, and the guy kills off his characters in his work. So they're very different. That makes it interesting for me. And they're about to spend 3 months in the neighboring beach houses. So these two, one evening, they make a deal to switch the writing styles. You know, the romance writer is gonna go write the dark literary fiction, and the guy is gonna go write a romance novel. So that's the story. That's how it's gonna go. Now, beside the fact that this is a book about writers, and that's an interesting point to me, and the proximity trope, I think, I don't know if it's in here. If it is, these are my favorite in romance books, in romance novels technically, but I don't know. This is Emily Henry, so I'm having better expectations for it because I already enjoyed one book from her. I think I'm gonna enjoy the rest. So I picked this one because I don't have a good history with romance books. I tend to not like many of them, but Emily Henry's good. I trust her. So high hopes for this one. The next book is also another romance book. It's called Exes and O's by Amy Lea. This one was published fairly recently in 2023, and it has a rating of 3.86 on Goodreads, 361 pages, so it's fairly short. That's good. Actually, I don't know why I picked this book. I mean, there's a roommate trope that I like. That's why I picked it, but I don't know about the plot. Yeah. I heard good things. Not many good things because it just came out recently. But yeah, I'm gonna read it because I'm in a mood for reading. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm in a mood for reading romance books. I hold myself back physically to stop reaching for Beach Read in April. I held myself back so hard. So now in May, I put 2 romance books in my TBR because I thought I have to read romance, obviously. So now to the plot. This one's about a girl named Tara. She's a social media influencer obsessed with romance novels, and she lives with this roommate of hers, Trevor, who's a firefighter. Yeah, I know. Things aren't looking good. And Tara decides to revisit her exes to see if she can find true love. I don't know why she wants to do that, but she does. She wants to go back, revisits her old boyfriends to see if there's anything there, you know, to analyze the relationship, maybe the fails, I don't know what's going on. So she's gonna do that, and Trevor, the firefighter roommate, is gonna help her. He's reluctantly accepted to help her, I think. I don't know why I'm reading this. There are roommates. I like that trope. I really hope it's good. People have said good things about it. A few people I know that read this book have said good things about it. And I really, really hope this is a good one. If it's not, if I decide to put it down, if I can't handle it, I may pick up another romance book instead. I don't know which one yet, but I may pick up another romance book. I'm not going to force myself to read it, but I really hope it's good. I'm going to say it's good. Let's go into this with that attitude. Next on the list is a manga. You already know what it is, probably, if you've seen the last month TBR. It's One Piece. I'm going to be reading volume 2. I enjoyed volume 1. I stopped myself to not read the other volumes because I had other books to read, and it's very tempting when you're reading manga to just go volume by volume, pick the next one. But yeah, I stopped myself. So I'll be reading volume 2 this month. Maybe I'll continue volume 3 or 4, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. Just volume 2 is in my TBR right now, and that's it. The 7th book on my TBR is another shameful book. I have to tell you, I haven't read this last month. The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. I already talked about it in my April TBR video. I didn't get to it because I didn't have the time. It wasn't because I didn't want to read it. I really do. I still want to read it. I simply didn't have the time to get to this book. So very quickly, this book is a historical fiction about two sisters who run away at the age of 16 from their hometown to change their lives. They get separated and they both go different ways. One of the sisters, years later, one of the sisters lives in that same town she tried to escape from with her black daughter, and the other one passes as white. Her white husband doesn't know anything about her past, her situation, so the story goes on from there. The next generation gets involved, and yeah, that's about this book. This is also very good. All I'm saying is that I didn't read this because I didn't have the time, not that because I didn't want to pick it up. I really did. And the last one, I'm trying to keep this TBR real, so I'm gonna stop here. Just the last one is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which I didn't get to finish in April. I still have it in my hand. I started it, I haven't finished it. I usually put a reread in my TBRs because when I get in a slump in books, if I get in a slump, which is very normal for me, picking up a very familiar, loved book for me as a reread actually helps a lot to get me out of that reading slump, because it's very enjoyable to read. If I'm in a slump, I read a few chapters of this or any other reread books I usually go through, my childhood favorites. They get me out of reading slumps. It really works for me. So here we go, 8 books for May. I really wanted to put a mystery thriller in there, but I stopped myself because I may not be able to finish them. If I finish early, I might read the 3rd book in Mistborn, or the rest, or the 3rd or 4th volume in One Piece. So yeah, that's about it for my May TBR. I tried to keep it smaller than last month, so I can get to all of the books. If I finish them all, I might continue with Mistborn or maybe One Piece. Alright, so guys, tell me in the comment section if you read any of these books. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.